Okay. Well, hi there, Carol Dockum here with Beautiful Faces Going Places. And I am super excited today as we continue our Business Spotlight series. And our special guest today is none other than Darla Kirchner. She is a certified StoryBrand certified guide, as well as a branding and marketing strategist. And she is here to share with us why it's so important for us to be the guide, for you to be the guide in your story brand journey. And, you know, this is kind of a nice recap because I believe it was last week she shared with us, actually, she did a fantastic training on 15 ways to strengthen your business in the next 30 days. So please help me welcome Darla.
Hi, Carol. Thanks for having me back. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Awesome. Well, your subject matter is just so interesting and so relative for all of us, because I think many of times as small business owners and entrepreneurs, we actually struggle with our messaging. Mm-hmm. And maybe we're missing opportunities to get our messaging really straightforward and clear so that we do capture the attention of our potential clients or customers or collaboration partners.
Yeah, it's really true. It's one of the things that I realized a few years ago. It's like I would be, doing tactics, and tactics are going on doing social media posts and working on an email campaign or working on doing lead working with I just lost my train of thought. Lead magnets and or yeah, I was gonna say that, but I really meant to say is networking, doing, joining networking things. Those are all great tactics, but you have to have a good strategy. And before the strategy, the first layer is having a clear message, knowing who you're talking to, knowing what their problems are. All of that then corresponds into words, and words corresponds into copy. Copy corresponds into content that goes into those tactics.
Right.
Yeah. And so that's where, for me, when I realized that I can make things look good, I can develop a great logo and a brand, and I can make your website look stunning. But if it doesn't have the right words on it, and if it's not laid out the right way that attracts the right person, you've wasted all that time and all that income in doing it. So yeah. Right. But I know today we really wanted to talk about being the guide. And yes. I really, this is something that when I realized this, it's like, wow, that's another hidden link really about being how we should be protecting our business, especially in times like this. We keep hearing the word unprecedented, challenging, pandemic, and we are in that, and everything shifted, 5 weeks ago. And right. And I don't see, from the research and the people I've talked to and the articles I've read, it's not going to change back overnight, and we may be in a new normal. And we have to be ready for that, because the only constant is change, right?
Right.
So yeah, so I think when you lead and you have becoming a leader, and I think anyone can be a leader, whether you are, just being a good person, you're leading by example, so is being a good guide, and as opposed to trying to play the hero. And the hero in a story usually starts out weak and has problems, and they're challenged by something, and they have a problem. When you think about any good movie, they have a problem, and they don't know how to fix the problem. Well, they don't go to another hero. They can go to a hero who's a friend and complain and say, I got this problem. And their friend would say, yeah, me too. That's another hero. What you need is a guide. And so the more you understand and take that, take that role on as being the guide to your community, to your audience, to your clients, the more that you will be seen as someone who can help them get to the light, find the way, and
Yeah.
that's what we want to be. So you are doing it already with Beautiful Faces. You are being a guide, as sharing experts in their area, and
Mhm.
guiding people through to help them so that they can grow. And that's what it's all about. And the more
Right.
you do that, the more you will resonate. That's one of the things that I realized for myself, because I always want to be people's friends. I want to be liked. And that's a personal thing. I've always been like that. I'm a helper by trade. I just want to help people. And so I realized that I had to step into my authority. I had to step into my expertise, and be as willing to share that, and be confident to share that, and comfortable to share that, as much as I am to be empathetic.
Right.
And that's a big deal. And so, and especially
Yeah.
more now, people need that. They want people to
Right.
guide them through. And that's what we
Exactly.
do. So,
And you know what? You're not the only one that, I think about, stepping into your authority. I know I'm very similar to you. I want to be everyone's friend. I love and liking on my friends and my, customers and,
right.
acquaintances and, want to be liked. So, but there is that time where you do have to step into your authority and create your programs and your offering and
Mhm.
demonstrate how you solve problems, right?
Exactly.
And I
Exactly.
love how you've shared with us before uh, Donald Miller's StoryBrand, which you're certified in,
Yeah.
and taking your customers and your clients through their journey
Mhm.
and kind of leading them towards
Yes.
their solution or yeah.
Yeah, so that they can have success. So that's really one of the things that I love doing is taking people through the story process. And so it's helping them to define the 7 elements of a good, clear story. And how we view story is the story that your business is telling, that weaves your customer into. And so that your customer is very much integral to that story, because your customer is the hero. You are not. And so it's teaching you how to take the ego out of things and not step into that role. I mean, and it is something as simple as, and we all do it because we're trying to portray that, hey, I'm the authority in this arena. I know what I'm talking about, and that's great. But you also want to make sure that you're giving, that you're guiding your community and your clients, so that they know that you're here to help them, that it's not
Right.
about shining the light on them, not on you. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next step really is, once you define that story, is helping them set up a strategy and a complete system. And in the marketing world, that's called a sales funnel. And having a solid sales funnel today, more than anything, is survival. It is how, because so many people, as I'm sure now, people have flocked online because they've had to. It's
Right.
necessity. We have to go online, because that's like the way we can find business, and the way we can connect with people. And
Right.
so, all of our networking is mostly going online
Right.
because of our situation. And so
Exactly.
you have to be ready to pivot, and to be able to talk to them, and talk
Right.
to those new problems, and to be the guide and be the solution in your area of
Right.
expertise. So yeah, for sure.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. I'm just thinking back 5 years ago, 5 years, 5 weeks ago when, all of this happened. And I think, I mean, it really took us all aback, right?
Oh
And,
yeah.
um, and
Yeah.
I know I had the March Lunch and Learn networking event already scheduled. And, um, and it was, I think we had 3 to 5 days to, pivot and to transition that in-person event to an online event. My initial thought was, wow, maybe we should just cancel and reschedule. And then I said, no way, you know, the show must go on, and really lead by example. Like, okay, let's,
Exactly.
everyone has already registered. And then, I mean, in my wildest dreams, I hadn't thought that this would be continuing. And here we are, 5, 6 weeks later, and
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
virtual and online.
Yeah. And
And
I think it goes to show that, a lot of ingenuity and creativity, and you led by example. You stepped up and you stayed the guide. And it's like, I'm here to serve these people, and I want to continue to serve these people. How can I do that? And that's when you shift and you pivot. And the other thing is that, they're coming to you for a reason. They're coming to you because they have a problem, and the problem is they want to build their network. They want to meet other people. They want to, maybe meet those people that might be able to lead them to somebody else that might need their services. And so you've done that. You're leading by that example, and that is the difference between being being a guide would, being a leader, a guide and a leader stays different than just being another hero, saying, okay, well, maybe we'll try it again, or, this ship has sailed. It's not the case. And that's the difference. I mean, I got to say, I was blessed, about 7-8 years ago. I lose track of time, honestly. Because I love what I do so much that I don't pay attention to how much time I've been doing it. But it's probably been 6-7 years since I've been online. And about 2 years ago, I pivoted, and I thought, I need to incorporate more live, more physical interaction, and having more one-on-one and local experiences, because a lot of my work was online. A lot of the stuff that I did was online. And so about 6 months ago, I partnered with another StoryBrand guide, and we started creating a new program, and we were launching that program in March. And so that's when, and it's an online small group coaching program where we take a small group amount of people through the StoryBrand process, so that they understand how to, that they are the guide, what their customers' problems are, and just helping them to define those core components that they would use in all their messaging and copy. And then from there, taking it into how are we going to implement this, and implementing it into words that they would use when they describe what they do. And how do they set up their website the right way. And they're having a good solid lead magnet that people want. And then how are they going to talk to them in an email campaign? That's a sales funnel. And that is what we're talking about. So she and I had planned all of this work, and then COVID hit. And so we were able to pivot just slightly, change our messaging for what was happening. And that's a very important thing to do, is to be a really good guide, is to make sure that you're staying current with what's going on in the world and what's affecting your customers. That's another good reason to be a good leader, which is being a good guide. And so we quickly pivoted, and then we also wanted to hit pause and be gracious to what was happening in the world, because this is unprecedented. No one has ever been through anything like this. But we didn't stop. We continued on, and we're in our 3rd week of this program, and we're going to launch it again. And if anyone in the group would like to know more about it, they can always reach out to me, because it's, I know I went for years, Carol, where I would just go, well, let me try that. Maybe this tactic will work, or let me invest in this program. Maybe this program is going to be the one. It's not. Those are all great tactics, but they're not good strategy. They're not. You need a complete strategy before you can put out tactics.
Right. And that involves, I mean, the words that you use, and how you communicate your messaging. And I think about the first time you and I met, and I was sharing with you, what I do here at Beautiful Faces Going Places. And when I initially created the company, I called it a women's success boutique.
Yes.
And, and in my head, I knew exactly what that meant. But believe me, I as I shared that years ago, women's success boutique, an online women's success boutique. Okay, so what is it? Clothes, makeup, shopping, so I had to, rechange and formulate my messaging to online women's success network. So
Exactly, exactly. And I know you and I have worked together. I mean, I've taken you through the process, and it was that's something that I can do on a small scale just to get people started. The biggest thing is to implement it, and then, to really start applying what you're learning and applying that into your copy and into your messaging and into your social media, and, and being repeatable, having a repeatable statement, a repeatable framework that you use over and over and over again. And yeah, for me, this has been, stepping into this role. I don't take lightly. It's something that, I'm not here to push my agenda. I'm here to serve. And I think if you're a good leader, and you step into that guide role, then that's what you're here to do. And that confidence will come out. And yeah. So.
Well, the confidence comes out, and then your potential clients, customers, I mean, understand, how you can help them. So it's
exactly.
just clear, right?
It's
and
clear. Clear is kind. Yeah, Brene Brown says, I'm a huge Brene Brown fan, and she says all the time, clear is kind. And because you don't, when you find yourself, continuing to talk about things and things like that, it's, and you're talking about things maybe they don't understand. So, it's like the curse of knowledge, because again, we want to be portrayed as the expert. We want to know what we're talking about. And I mean, I've done it myself, where I'm like, okay, they don't understand what a hex code is. They don't understand what, the curse of knowledge, or they may not understand what Maslow's hierarchy of needs are. You have to bring it down to a level that they can completely understand. Because, and so that's another way to be a good guide. Being really clear in your messaging, being clear and understanding, and putting your customers first. Putting your customers first and their needs, and what do they want first. So it, there's a lot, there's work that goes into it, but it is work that pays off.
Right.
It's so much more value.
What's going through my mind right now, Darla, is when is a good time for a small business owner or an entrepreneur? When is a good time for them to start the StoryBrand process? In the before, the middle, or the end,
Well, really the before, as soon as you possibly can. I mean, honestly, starting the process is ASAP, really. I mean, honestly, the original book, I have a copy of the book. This is the StoryBrand book. This original book came out 2 years ago, and I would, it's still very relevant. I was just actually talking to somebody earlier today, and he said, Darla, I've read lots of marketing books. This is the first book that is simple and it's clear. And so, I would, anytime is the right time when it comes to getting a clear message. You will never go wrong. It does not matter if you've been, like, I've been in business for, for 20 years. I just started working on mine 2 years ago. And so, so anytime is the right time, because you can never, if your business is not thriving and it's not sustainable, and it's not, and you feel like, things are really not going the way you want anymore, especially now with everything going on, now is the perfect time to be investing in your story and making sure that it's clear and getting your messaging clear. And then you can start implementing all the other areas that go with it. And then
the other tactics, right?
The other tactics. You got to have a clear strategy. I mean, you got to, and then you measure what's working, and then you can keep iterating and making it better. So now that's what I'm doing. I'm constantly making mine better. And I'm also thinking, okay, how can I help my clients now? Knowing what's going on in the world, how am I going to help them now? Because even though I know even the 15 ways, I'm actually, before you and I got on the conversation, I was telling you that I'm planning on maybe adding to that so that I can give more value, because you want to give your clients as much value as possible so that they see you as a resource and someone who's going to guide them to helping them solve the problem that they came to you for. And so, the more, whether that's even, getting them onto your email list, and you just keep talking to them and nurturing to them, or, they decide, hey, I'm ready to talk to you. So, you want to make sure that you're guiding them. And so, I'm always iterating and making things better and figuring out ways of how I can help clients and how can I help them, and not just my clients in the community. I'm happy to talk to people, like this gentleman I was talking to earlier. I mean, he's like, I guess I'm guilty. I feel guilty that I'm not doing my marketing, but I dread it because I don't know what I'm doing. But I don't want to go out there and have to cold call.
Right.
So I would rather be doing what we call is inbound marketing, where
Yes.
people are, they're coming to you through a sales funnel. And
Mm-hmm.
you set that up. Don has said recently that a sales funnel equals survival. In
Right.
today's market, with everyone being online, you must have a sales funnel. And
Right.
I've had pieces of sales funnels, Carol. I've had bits and pieces of things, but they weren't answering the needs to my clients, and they weren't
Right.
in and they weren't, there were holes in it. So now I've got, now it's much more robust, much more solid. I have strategy, the strategy's all laid out. And so I'm just building on what I already have. And
Right.
it gets easier once you do it. It's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Right. Well, you make it sound
yeah,
so easy the way you present everything, and I just love what you're. I mean, you really demonstrate, and you actually demonstrate, and you practice story brand within your own business. So it's not as if you're saying, okay, here's the template. I mean, you are actually living and breathing it yourself.
I
So
do. Yeah.
I
Thank you for telling me that.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
and I
you.
know
You
we.
know,
Yeah.
I think sorry, you have to practice what you preach. If you
Yeah.
believe in it, then you need to,
Yes.
you need to apply it in your own work. And for me, it's, it has been such the game changer. It really
Mhm.
has been. And what resonates for me was the missing piece of the puzzle that, that I could go and say, okay, now that I have this, I feel very blessed and honored to work with the people that I work with now,
Right.
because they see the value in it. They want to grow. They want to grow their business the right way, and they want to set themselves up for success. And
Yeah.
I want that more than anything for them too. So,
Right.
yeah.
No, I can see that it just shines through. So, and I just love how you're leading by example, and you're absolutely right. To be part of this story brand journey, it is about leading the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I just the other day, it's kind of crazy, and I was sharing it with someone else that I went back to my website because I'm always looking for ways to change it up and make sure there's value and great information on the website. And I happened to just watch the video because I wanted to make sure it was still relevant for today. My welcome video that I posted, I think 2 years ago, I created it. And I just was blown away because of the message that I had conveyed in that welcome video was all about online, that we are an online women's success network. And to be quite honest, 2 years ago, yes, we were online. We had a website, but
Yeah.
it is even more relevant today. So I was just like, oh my gosh.
Look at me.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, here we are. Yes, we need to be online.
Uh-huh.
And,
Yeah, and that's awesome. Here you were progressive and you didn't even know.
right. I know. I'm like, okay. Because I thought, well, maybe it's time to upgrade or update that welcome video. And I thought, oh my gosh, it is just so on for where we're at today.
It's
So,
on target. But you're smart to do that. Again, you were looking at it from a guide's perspective. It's like, it's the fact that you went back and looked at it. I would tell you, I'm telling all my clients and everyone who asks it, what are some tips that I could use today, is go back through your content. Go
mhm.
back through, don't be putting out emails that, look at, if you happen to have what we call an automated email sequence, go
Yes.
back through and look at those emails, pause what you've got going, and
Mhm.
make sure it's relevant for what's going on today. Because if you don't stay if you're not current with what's going on, you're irrelevant. And
Right.
people will just I can't tell you how many emails I've opted out of. And it's people that I've admired, and like, they're not relevant anymore, and
Right.
they're not addressing what's going on today. Now, have I gotten emails from people that I haven't heard from in a long time? Yes.
Right.
So, saying, oh, we're here for you. Well, where were you? Where were you? That's why staying consistent is such an
Yeah.
important thing. Where
Right.
were you for this whole amount of time? I don't even know who you are. And so that's part of your strategy, is making
Mhm.
sure that you have a consistent strategy, a consistent message, a consistent brand story that is relevant to your customers. And
Right.
you can't worry about the people that opt out, or the people that disagree, because they're not your customers. So you want to be relevant to the people that you can help, and
Right.
who value what you bring to the table, and know that feel like you can help them. So,
Right.
yeah.
Exactly. Well, Donna,
Yes.
I'm just super excited for you and the programming that you have already launched. So if any of our viewers are interested in connecting with you, where is the best place for them to go?
I'm going to tell you, for them just to go to, let's see, just go, they can email me if they're interested in something and they want to set up some time. They can go to darlakirchner.com. I am happy to set up some time with them and even like spend, 15 minutes just, talking about what's going on. I'm happy to look at their website and review it, because more now than any time, it is so important to make sure your website is current, making sure your website is relevant to your customers. I can give them some tips on that. Highly recommend doing that. I'm happy to to do a quick assessment and give them a couple tips on that. The other thing that I'm doing is they're also welcome to join a wait list. I have a wait list of for this new program that we've launched. So now we've got people that are on a wait list that will be launching here in the next couple of weeks again, to get people so that they have a clear message. And then once they have that clear message, then we will take them through how to implement the message so that they have a solid sales funnel. So, and that website is called storymarketingsuccess.com. And so they can join the wait list there too. So two different ways they can talk to me, and I'd be more delighted to talk to them.
No, that's fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Darla. You can also find her at beautifulfacesgoingplaces.com. She has a fantastic profile because Darla is on our success team. She is one of our speakers, trainers, coaches, and experts here to bring value and to help you on your success journey in business. So thank you so much, Darla. And have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I have to tell you, Carol, it is an honor to be on your success team. Really is. So thank you for everything that you do for this community. And I'm here to help in any way I can. So thanks for the opportunity.
All right. Well, fantastic. Thank you so much, Darla. Take care.
Thanks, you too.
Bye.